All right, well, one subject that we actually haven't talked about here on this channel is the possibility of Ethereum having another hard fork. Not the merge, I'm not talking about the main update, which is a hard fork in itself, but there is actually a group of miners, Ethereum miners, who have decided to do a hard fork. It's not done yet, it has to be done at the same time as the merge happens. The snapshot has to be taken at the same time and everything, just like what happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. If you remember, if you were around in 2017 when Bitcoin was having the SegWit implementation, which was the biggest upgrade that Bitcoin has ever had, probably. Many people were not very happy about SegWit, right? It took a couple of years, maybe even 3 years, for SegWit to actually be accepted by the community. It took a lot of convincing and hard work, on part of the developers to actually convince the miners that we need SegWit so that we can actually move forward and build things on top of Bitcoin and really take Bitcoin into the current level of blockchain development, because quite frankly, Bitcoin was lagging behind at some point. It's still lagging behind. I mean, Bitcoin is not really, you're not really building stuff on Bitcoin. It's not exactly a smart contracts platform like Ethereum or anything, but it's still having much more versatility today than what it used to have before SegWit implementation. Lightning Network, it was not possible before SegWit. Anyways, so as it happened, there was a group of miners that were not happy with the SegWit implementation. They wanted bigger blocks. What they did is they forked the blockchain as the SegWit upgrade was happening. At the same time, they actually forked the blockchain and they continued mining the previous version of Bitcoin, the one that did not have SegWit. And then they did their own changes. They increased the block size and everything. That's how Bitcoin Cash actually came into existence. Then Bitcoin Cash forked a few times. Bitcoin SV happened because of Bitcoin Cash, and so on and so forth. What I'm saying here is that we have the same situation with Ethereum right now. There are a group of miners that have decided to fork the blockchain. Social media is actually having a ball with this. Many people are talking about it as if it's such a big threat or anything like that. I mean, this is one of the threads on Twitter that is actually talking exactly about that. What could happen if Ethereum hard forks, and how some people will continue mining the proof of work chain, because that's what they want, that they have the equipment and everything, and they want to continue mining proof of work. Okay, this is possible, right? But what's going to happen with this? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. I mean, this hard fork is already not that popular. I mean, there are some exchanges that are signaling support for this hard fork. Even Justin Sun is signaling support for this hard fork. Why? Because he's got an exchange. He just wants to have that other coin, traded on his exchange. This is bringing volume to him. It's bringing, of course, trading volume means a lot of trading transactions, and that means a lot of fees for him. So nothing else than that. Some people will make a quick buck. Some of those miners are actually going to make a quick buck in the process. In the beginning, this fork could be trading in, I don't even think it will be over $100. It's already under, the few exchanges that are actually, they have already listed it as a derivative, as a IOU, meaning it's already trading on some exchanges, but it's not yet available, right? Meaning if it actually forks, then people will get the IOUs, they will get the tokens that they are currently trading. But if it doesn't fork, then they're not going to get those. And the exchanges that are trading, it seems that it's not really doing well. Here is Decrypt reporting that it's already 62% down just weeks before the actual merge happens, before the coin is due to fork. Its symbol is ETHW, and it is, as I said, just a hard fork that will continue mining the proof of work version of Ethereum, because a lot of miners actually have that equipment that they don't really want to lose. Well, then they are going to lose, because what's happening is, first of all, this is not going to be a popular fork. We're not going to see anything being built on it. If you think about it, why is Ethereum actually so valuable? Well, mainly because there's so much stuff built on it, right? It's not because it's proof of work, it's because it's got so much stuff built on it. Different projects, platform, tokens, DeFi, NFTs, everything. You name it, it's there. It's on Ethereum. So by forking it and continuing to mine the proof of work version, which will be the old version, right? All of the development team of Ethereum, everyone who is building anything for Ethereum right now is going with the merge, is going with the proof of stake. Only if proof of stake fails, or there is like a big major problem with proof of stake, with the merge, with the upgrade, with the way it's implemented, we could have some sort of steam coming here into this hard fork. However, I don't think this is the case. And since this is not the case, who is going to be building for this? This is a miner-led hard fork, right? Meaning miners are forking this, not developers. So what, we're going to continue with Ethereum proof of work, nothing being built on it, because Ethereum with everything, the platform with everything that's built on it is moving to proof of stake. You're going to be mining a version of Ethereum that is outdated. No one is building for it. Maybe some people, maybe some developers will come into this and will start building stuff. But what, it's going to be a handful of developers against Ethereum with the full Ethereum Foundation, Ethereum development team, everything else that's being built on Ethereum. All of the projects that are being built on Ethereum are moving on with the proof of stake. So you're going to compete? Never. Never. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin again as an example, in the first couple of weeks, in the first few weeks actually, Bitcoin Cash managed to get more steam. They had some very strong people, proponents, people that were trying to convince the community that Bitcoin Cash is the original Bitcoin, therefore we should care about that and not about BTC. That didn't stick. This didn't really go well with the Bitcoin community. Nobody really believed it, so nobody really went with it. There are a few people, actually detractors, who moved from BTC into BCH, later on with BSV, whatever. Doesn't really matter. BSV and BCH, both of these forks are not even half the value of Bitcoin, not even a third of the value of Bitcoin, not even a quarter of the value of Bitcoin today. And just weeks after they got launched, they actually dropped significantly. This is the same thing what's going to happen with this fork, if it even happens. Just days after the launch, it will drop significantly. And as it drops significantly, people who want to mine this fork are not going to be making a profit, because we're not talking about ETHW being worth half of Ethereum, or a third of Ethereum, or even a quarter of Ethereum. We are talking less than $100 for Ethereum that is currently challenging the 2000. I mean, it's 1,600. 1,600 compared to less than 100. Who's going to be making money with this fork? Nobody. So this is why I'm saying this is not something that I'm really entertaining as a thought. For me, this doesn't really matter. If this fork happens and some of the exchanges that I have my Ether on decides to credit me with that fork, immediately I'm selling it. I'm not even holding it for weeks or even days. I'm selling it at the first opportunity that I have before it really drops heavily. So this is what I'm going to do. My Ether that is in my ledger, we'll see. Am I going to claim this fork? Depends. It really depends on the technicals. If it's something that is easy to do and that I have enough faith that is not going to, do something bad to my private keys, some dodgy business with my private keys, then I might claim it. However, I'm not really keen on doing that, because I've seen hard forks that actually exploit your private keys, because in order to claim a hard fork yourself, you have to enter your private key into the wallet of that newly forked coin, and basically sweeping that key to be able to claim these coins. Sometimes you can actually just send your Ether from your ledger, or whatever forked coin, from the ledger into an exchange that is actually crediting these newly forked coins, and they can do that for you. This would be probably the better option. I would trust an exchange to do it for me way more than I would trust a newly formed wallet. An application that some developer built that maybe, we've never heard of him or her, and now we have to trust them and sweep our private keys into that wallet. I'm not really doing that. So definitely this is not the route that I would take. But if there's an exchange like there were a few exchanges that were doing that with recent forks, there's always some exchange that is actually doing that. So what you can do is send your Ether into that exchange from your ledger or Trezor, whatever, and then as you receive that Ether into the exchange, that Ether gets split straight away, and you receive Ether and you receive ETHW, the forked coin. So you receive both of them. If this is the case, I will do that. And if this is the case, I will let you know which is the exchange that is doing that. So far, we don't really know. We know that some exchanges are supporting this, fork, but we don't really know whether they will be supporting the split. This is important for us. We need to know which is the exchange that will actually support the split, so that as you send your Ether into that exchange, they split it for you, you get both coins. And this way you can make a quick buck as well. It depends. I mean, if you have hundreds of Ether, then you will make some money. If you have a couple of Ether, then you're not really going to make money, because that fork very quickly is going to dump to around $20, maybe $50 at best. I don't really think it's going to keep more than $50 value. So yeah, if you have a few hundred of Ether, then you might make some money. But other than that, I don't really see it as a profitable thing. Now, let's move on quickly to see some of the price targets that I have, starting with Ether, of course, first. Then we're going to go into EOS, because right now, as you know, EOS is on my watch list, and then we're going to look into Bitcoin as well. Not really much of a change here with Ethereum in the last few days. We did start this bounce on the upside, as I expected. Now, we'll see whether this bounce will actually take us to my target levels here of 1,700. This range, 1,720, 1,780, this is the range where I really want us to go, so that I can actually unload, because I am expecting after that to have another drop on the downside. I am seeing this as an ABC correction, and so far we've seen the A leg. We are currently in the B wave, and then a C wave I'm expecting to follow, which will take us lower than the A wave, right? So this is why I will be unloading. If I see us going into the 1700 region, this will be for me ideal selling opportunity. I mean, the indicators, we are seeing an oversold stochastic RSI, so definitely a bounce on the upside is to be expected, a further bounce on the upside, I should say. The market is, however, are in the high end, and they look to be getting tighter together, so maybe soon they will cross on the bearish side. So this, upside move, probably short-lived, as I'm expecting it, maybe another few days, and then after that, a drop is to be expected in Ether. On the way up, targets 1700, 1720, 1780. On the way down, 1500. 1500 has not been revisited yet. We were very close. Actually, we were, I think 1520, 1520 is what we did. So we still have to revisit 1500, round number, psychological support level. But I'm expecting that as we revisit this level, we could even break. And if we break it, then we could actually go to 1400. 1390 is my next target, but that is pretty much 1400. So these are the levels for Ethereum. That was versus the dollar. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Still going strong, actually. We just came off my ideal accumulation zone. We came down here into my accumulation zone. We even broke below it. We did go to below 0.075, which was my accumulation zone. So this is good. We are now coming up from it, and we are about to flip this into a support, 0.076. We are currently at this level. We just actually went above it, so we are flipping this into support. On the way up, I do have two more targets that we haven't actually challenged. By the look of it, we could actually go above this and continue our rally to try and reach the 0.082 level. This is in Bitcoin value, so we're talking Satoshis here. 0.082 level was not revisited. Then I have another level, 0.085. I was expecting that in the run up to the merge, we will be revisiting these levels, and we will be challenging to see whether we will actually be able to break resistance. So far, we have strong resistance at these two levels. We didn't actually manage to get there. On the way down, I do have a lower support at 0.07499 and another lower support if we drop again and this support doesn't hold us. My lower support is at 0.070. So most likely we will get there. I just expect that we will have another push on the upside first, and then we're going to drop after the merge, after the news subsides and the hype and everything goes away. We could actually drop again and see Ethereum in against Bitcoin in the 7.070 region. So we'll see how this will play out. Now, before EOS, let's quickly look at Bitcoin, because we have to be aware of what Bitcoin is doing. Well, Bitcoin was printing this bearish flag pattern, and of course, as this pattern always does, we broke down from it. Now, bear in mind that, and if you don't know this pattern, guys, I will drop a link again to my free PDF ebook where I gave you all the most common trading patterns. This is a bearish continuation pattern, bearish flag pattern. As we print that on the way down, as we are in a downtrend and we print that, we usually break below and we continue the downtrend. This is why it is a continuation pattern. I actually have quite a few patterns here that I collected for you, so make sure that you grab this. This is a free ebook. The link is in the description below. So we printed this pattern, and as we always do, we actually broke down below it. However, what I'm expecting is, because there is a lot of manipulation going on here, and because we have this stochastic RSI here in the oversold region, which is indicating a possibility of a further upwards price action, I'm now looking out to see if this was just a fake out. Or perhaps we just have a bounce from here and then we continue the drop downwards. I'm expecting that a bounce is already happening, and quite frankly, it has reached my first target here, my first resistance. I'm kind of hoping that we will have a bit more strength to actually push even higher and go to the 22K, which is my next resistance. So a push on the upside could be expected because of the stochastic RSI indicating here that we could actually see a further upwards momentum, because we are in the oversold region. So this could actually continue, go to the 22K. From there, at that point, our 50-day moving average will also drop down and will coincide with that 22 resistance level. So to me, this is the most likely scenario. Finding a bit of strength here and then getting rejected from the 22K region. Why am I expecting that? Well, and why am I saying that a bounce on the upside, despite this bearish pattern just happening and just breaking down from it, indicating that we should be going down, right? In the longer term, yes, but in the shorter term, what we could see here is, first, we have this strong push on the downside. We break below this channel, this flag pattern. It's indicating for many people that we are going bearish right now. This breakdown is actually for many people either hitting their stop losses or it's just liquidating a lot of longs and everything. So after this, we usually have a bounce, and the bounce could easily come here to this level. And if that is to happen, then the most likely scenario is to get rejected from here and to continue the drop on the downside. So this is pretty much what I'm expecting from Bitcoin, and this is why right now I'm not selling quite yet. I'm waiting to see whether we will manage to get above 21,500 and continue the momentum to just touch 22K, which will be ideal selling position for me. So I don't know about you, but this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for selling Bitcoin, selling Ethereum at this point, because we are quite close now to the merge. I think the merge has been priced in. We could see another attempt to go higher, but definitely a strong rejection from there will follow. And since Ethereum is driving the market right now, Bitcoin is possibly going to do something very similar. Now let's look at EOS, because EOS is doing its own trajectory. They finally, after years, realized that they need to move away from Block 1, which was the developing team that did not develop anything for EOS in the last 3 years. Finally, now they're starting to wake up, they're starting to build things, they're starting to listen to their community and do stuff that is actually going to be beneficial to the community. This is why we saw this big rally in EOS, almost 50% up in the last month. So definitely this is quite strong. However, now we hit a resistance of $2. That was a psychological resistance. It was also coinciding with Fibonacci levels. My first target, we hit that and we are now correcting. As we're now correcting, on the way down, I have a target of 1.64, a lower target of 1.55. And if these two targets, if these two levels don't hold us, then we're going to enter my ideal accumulation zone, which is below 150, which is 1.41, 1.46, 1.48. This is ideal accumulation zone. This is for the midterm. I'm not going to be holding EOS long term. No. EOS for me right now is ideal swing trade opportunity, and it's kind of a midterm hold. I will accumulate. If we drop to my accumulation zone, I will accumulate. I will also accumulate here. As we are correcting, I will be accumulating at these levels, because what I want to do is quick swing trade. After we hit these levels, of course, we're going to make another attempt at going upwards to see how far can we go. Can we actually break the 2 price level and go for the 2.19, which is my next target on the way up? Or are we going to get rejected and just continue downwards? Maybe the hype is done. Maybe the hype is subsiding already and we are losing momentum. I do have another target on the way up. Should we actually gain even more momentum and manage to break above these 2 resistance levels, 2.55. We are still far from the 3, but definitely 2.55 is going to be for us in the longer term. It's not a level that I'm expecting to reach very quickly, unless something really happens major, big upgrade that nobody expected. They would have announced it, and they haven't. So far they only announced the divorce with Block 1, and we'll see where is that going to take them, because we really need to see stuff being built on EOS, and nothing's been built on EOS. Not enough. Okay, not nothing, but not enough. So this is EOS versus Bitcoin. What can EOS do against Bitcoin? Well, it actually hit my resistance here, and from that point we started correcting. So as we are correcting, I'm still looking what's happening on the way down. The first support level is where we're just touching this support level, 799 Satoshi, 800 Satoshi, you can call it pretty much, round number. The next support is actually at 709. And then 643 is my lower support, should these two not hold us. But I don't really expect us to go below that, because right now I still feel that we have enough steam to actually go slightly higher, challenge this resistance again. On the way up, we do have 2 more resistance levels that we have to conquer. 1237, 1568. This is for the longer term. This is definitely not something that we will be able to do very quickly in the next few weeks or anything like that. But if stuff starts getting built on EOS, and if EOS finally starts coming out of this long slumber, it was asleep for 3 years, guys. It was doing nothing for 3 years. If they actually start building stuff and actively doing things on EOS and keep their community excited and everything, then we could actually see it reclaim these levels that it used to have once upon a time. So we'll see how this plays out. I am being very careful with EOS. I'm currently doing swing trading for the short term, but for the medium term, I will be accumulating only if we actually drop to these lower target zones. I'm not really accumulating EOS at this point, at these price levels. I wanted to correct more before I start accumulating it for the medium term. Right now, I am accumulating at these first and second target zones, because if we manage to just bounce up from here, I will be using this as a swing trade. I will be also placing some stop loss orders, so that if we break below this, I will be exiting at a loss, but I will be exiting at a minor loss. I'm not really holding EOS. I don't want to be holding EOS long term. This is my stance on EOS. It's not getting changed. One of our sponsors is Token Metrics. I chose them to be one of our partners specifically because I use this website a lot in my marketing analysis and research. If you want to know when is the right time to enter a position on any coin or token, and more importantly, when to exit, because this is really the difficult part. There are loads of metrics here to help you with that. This is one of their new tools that helps me analyze the market better and spot the right entry or exit points. As you can see, it gives you a green signal when the market turns bullish, meaning we are in an uptrend, and the red signals indicate when the market has turned bearish. Thus, exiting positions and preventing losses becomes really easy with this tool. There are so many tools that you can use. Here's another one, the out season Bitcoin season indicator, that gives me a very good idea if it's time to diversify into outs or should my focus be on Bitcoin instead. There is no need to be a back holder during a bear market. I think by now that much is clear. And with this tool, it's a no-brainer. They provide in-depth data and stats on all cryptocurrencies and a lot of new upcoming projects, launches, and token sales too. This is where I find unknown gems before they hit the mainstream, and I particularly like their emails with detailed breakdown on technicals and fundamentals on the projects that they research, and their expertise in this field is second to none. You can also customize your portfolio and track your P&L day to day, and you can create separate portfolios for different exchanges that you use to monitor your progress in the most efficient way. There are so many categories to choose from when analyzing the markets, way more than I've seen on any data aggregator website, so you can really advance your analysis and improve your investment strategies. I've been a premium member of Token Metrics for the past 2 years, and I'm using it on a daily basis. They send us emails, host webinars and podcasts with technical analysis, and they go deeper into the research of new projects or current market conditions. I find this really helpful in my own market analysis, as they give me a hint to things that I might have missed or overlooked otherwise. They offer a trial period and you get a 10% discount and a free ebook with my link, so go check it out, it's in the description below. Alright guys, well this is everything for today's episode. Thanks for staying until the end. I hope it helped, and if it did, share it with someone else who would also benefit from watching it. Also, make sure that you leave a like and a comment below. This always helps with the algorithms of YouTube to pick up this video so it can reach more people. And also don't forget to check out the links in the description below, where I leave all the links to all the crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. And while you're here, why not just pick another one of my videos? Adios.